regarding citizen journalists and whether they're going to be allowed to tape or even videotape the Mississauga Judicial Inquiry. A fellow citizen sent me a blog and said, hey, you need to read this. When I read what this person wrote, she was writing about my experiences. I mean, this is what I've been trying to say. And this woman has said it so perfectly that what I want to do is just read it into the Mississauga Judicial Inquiry. The words of Phyllis Carter. I have gone against the current and fought battles for justice since I was a teenager. What is most distressing about speaking up is that those who are elected or otherwise employed to do justice, to stand up for the underdog, to protect and defend, are absent. Uninvolved, uncaring, unwilling to sacrifice their comfort to do what is right. Taking your complaint to the school principal or your landlord, you are branded as a troublemaker, and there can be severe consequences. Taking your case to the police, you are either ignored or rebuffed or even laughed at. Taking your claim to your members of government at any level, you are scorned at public meetings. If you write, you are granted a computerized acknowledgement of the receipt of your message. At every level, when you stick out your neck to ask for justice, you are told, nobody did anything wrong. Or, most often, you're right, but this is not in our jurisdiction. Your friends will encourage you. They will sometimes speak up to support you. But most of the time, you have to sacrifice your time, your energy, your very heart to endure the frustration and rejection and, most often, being ignored in the hope that you will just give up and go away. And most people do just give up and go away. I have fought for justice all my life, alone. It takes enormous stubbornness and a steel, strong sense of right and wrong to persist against the current for months and even years. And there are not many people who can stand their ground. And in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wonderful paragraphs, Phyllis Carter explains why it's important that citizen journalists, even citizen bloggers, are acknowledged as a legitimate voice. I respect what Ms. Carter says. I mean, I can see it there. But her comments about what is most distressing about speaking up is that those who are elected or otherwise employed to do justice, to stand up for the underdog, to protect and defend, are absent, uninvolved, uncaring, unwilling to sacrifice their comfort to do what's right.
I've gone through my time here, but I'm asking the city of Mississauga to look to see if the contractor, how much money is actually there, if he's invoiced properly, and to maybe do something to, people, this is the face of it, single parents with kids on disability that are losing a lot of money here. And I believe the city had ample opportunity to say, listen, gentlemen, just keep the lien on, just, because you're not going to get paid here.
At this point, I would go one step further than that and call these people evil. They know what they're doing.
I was assured by staff at that time that when they did due diligence, and you questioned the due diligence.
I've seen enough to know I can't change anything. I can't. In fact, that's not entirely true. These people have changed stuff and made things worse. You can believe that. They've made changes that are worse. For example, they've put in the illusion of a complaint system. Before, the City of Mississauga, do you understand that the City of Mississauga did not have a public complaint system until 2008? And then when they put in a public complaint system, it was worse than having none at all? You understand that? That's what we're dealing with here.
There seems to be a trend as you go through all these audits, the lack of support. That's the message of it. All of the reports, actually. And that to me is very, very important. There's a lack of justification and follow-up. Not that anything maybe has gone wrong, but it's by luck rather than by good management. And there's a trend through all the reports that says that contracts are especially amendments to contracts, which is very important. Amendment to contract without approval of either the management, is this one, I guess, without, like some changes were made without approval of the management. Then, of course, the one that really concerns you is without approval of council. So it's something we have to watch very, very carefully. Any amendments to contract that it's had gone, gone through the right approval process. Well, I get a little frustrated as mayor that we set up policies and then they're not followed, and that's what bothers me. Anyway, so now we're going to set one up. Fine. Yeah. If we set one up, it better be followed. That is the key. No use setting that up if it's not going to be followed. You know, I don't know why there's such disregard for policy.
And it speaks to the absolute lack of accountability here at the City of Mississauga, and I would hope that the judicial inquiry will at least recognize that there isn't a public document that you can trust coming out of that place. Every bylaw you've got to question.
Next we have Ursula Cooper-Bennett appearing before us with respect to the revisions to the city's records retention bylaw.
Every assertion by any member of staff.
We don't just have pockets of excellence in this organization. We have excellence throughout.
I think I'd just like to draw the council's attention that we're certainly doing things contrary to our policies. And if we followed our going out on proposal call for consultants, going out on tender for projects, we would just never make it.
So, and Madam Mayor, I think the way I would explain it is, you know, this is a council-approved exception to our policy because staff will not go contrary to policy. So if this isn't approved,
through the Freedom of Information Act, because I was being stonewalled by so many people, through the Freedom of Information Act, I found out the information I do have. I have access to the contract and to his the contract, to his statutory declarations that he was signing. And I also have his references and his resume, which at the least leaves much to be desired. On his projects that he had that he put down as a reference, these are projects that he's been basically kicked off for non-performance, this contractor. He's done projects where there's been liens put on it and he's been asked to leave. And these are I want to know about the due diligence of hiring this contractor and awarding him this job.
I can tell you this, certainly my experience here in Mississauga, we don't have a television station. We just simply have a way for the City of Mississauga to funnel its party line into our living rooms through Cable 10 TV. As far as a newspaper, let's not even go there. As far as reporters, and we're talking even at the national level, some of them are little more than stenographers. The one thing that is a real challenge for citizens in general is simply to be believed. And we lost our Ontario Ombudsman, the only true voice and advocate for us. Just, I can't say enough about Andre Moran and his team. He gave us hope. And what did McGuinty do? That's what we're dealing with. And what it means is you can't change it. You cannot change it. But the very best that I'm hoping for is to document. To just document the callous disregard, even indeed the contempt for the underdog. And I could write, and yet people wouldn't believe me. And that's the problem. People do not seem to believe just the written word, and certainly not the written word of a citizen journalist. However, if you've got the video, if you can hear, or if you can actually see these politicians and these, what was the word used? And those otherwise employed to do justice, if you could see those people and how they lie, bullshit, stonewall, and screw you over, and then lie some more, and then deny that they're lying, then you'll understand why video is so important. I mean, it would be nice to be able to shoot video, but if not, I would ask that Rogers Cable 10 be required to put all of the judicial inquiry, videotape it all, and that that videotape is made freely available to libraries, Mississauga Library, Brampton Library, Caledon Library, Peel Archives. Make it available free to citizens, to universities. It is, after all, a public inquiry, not just for the fortunate few who may be able to find the time to show up.